everybody. We are here to celebrate some amazing coaches. Welcome to the second annual Momentum Award celebration, where we get to unveil the coaches that you have nominated, voted, and have been selected for recognition this year because of the work that they are doing to make sure humans stay human, innovate in our space, push thought leadership, and hold the space that we all do this work to do. And this year was a pretty incredible year in the coaching world. Also, excuse me while I manage some stuff happening in the background, because all of your winners are sitting backstage here waiting to come on the scene and be recognized for the amazing work they do. And so let's tell you a little bit about these awards. We announced these awards for the very first time a year and a half ago, and last year they were met with pretty rave reviews and everyone was so excited, and the response was even better this year. So we got more nominees and more votes this year. The way these awards happen, I am very transparent about, because I've been part of awards that a lot of people think are just a popularity contest. And so my goal was to have something that is genuinely a vetted process that begins with open nominations. You can nominate yourself, you can nominate friends. There is no kind of restriction to how nominations happen. And then it does go out to a vote. So maybe there is a popularity contest component of this, but that is not the entire way these awards are selected. However, the voting round does determine who makes it into the finalist round for a selection committee to score and review some submissions that these coaches all had to provide. So this was totally not a just look at some LinkedIn profiles and pick some people. These guys had to actually do some work here, not only to get votes, but then they had to submit written responses to 5 different questions, and they had to do a 1-minute video. So there was a little bit of a lift, and that's the information that our selection committee reviewed to choose our winners and our second place coaches. And so I want to give a quick shout out to our selection committee this year, which included Lily Fogel and Joelle Crawford, who were last year's Momentum Award winners for specialty coach, and Lily in her interview coaching, and Joelle, who won the executive and leadership category last year. So it was really fun to have 2 people who had been through this now get to select coaches for this year. Jovan Glasgow was our legacy jury member, carried over from last year. He helped really shape how we select coaches and the rubric for the scoring. And then Liam Darmody, who is, of course, everybody's favorite LinkedIn personality, and Holly Hartman, who I met at AI Marketing World this fall and love what she's doing to help build people forward brands. And so they were our selection committee. I'm on there mostly because I just heard the cats. And I want to let you all know that this happened blind for me, because I know a lot of you and I didn't want to be biased. So when it came down to, hey, here's our scores and here's some ordinals, how do we make sense of this? I made sure that all of it was done as ABCs. So I didn't know who won anything until I got to find out who A, B, C, D, and E were. And so this was a little bit fun for me to see who got the recognition. And like Mark says, those written responses were not easy. It wasn't like, give us 2 words. You had to actually put a little thought into it. And all of you have done really, really meaningful work. And I love to see all of you celebrating each other. And before we get into the winners, do want to celebrate every single coach who was nominated this year. Because whether you are backstage waiting to be recognized individually or not, you deserve this nomination because you are doing really meaningful work, whether it is coaching people through the dumpster fire of a market right now in the career space, helping people tell their stories, whether it's in interviews or through actual stories in books, helping people lead better, or helping all of us think better through thought leadership. All of you are actually making a difference. And this is why I started these Momentum Awards, was to really recognize those of us doing this work, because it also isn't easy. You know, when markets are hard like it is right now, it isn't easy to be a coach and to support people through hard times. But I want to congratulate every single one of the 47 nominees this year. I think it was about 10 more than last year. Really, really great group of people, some new faces that I've gotten to meet, which has been really, really amazing. And so the Nominations were in 4 categories. And so today we are recognizing top career coach and the runner-up in each of these 4 categories. So top career coach, top interview and communications coach, which we left a little bit open so that it wasn't just interview, but communications, whether that is communicating confidently. We had an author coach included in the nominations here because she's somebody who helps people communicate their stories. Top executive and leadership coach are either helping executives in leadership in a career capacity or in a team capacity or in an individual professional executive growth capacity. And then we have our Industry Thought Leader Award, which is really intended to recognize somebody who puts out standout content and thought leadership in their particular space. So high visibility, high quality content that helps not only their target audience, but peers as well. And so, are we ready? Are we ready we're going to start with the career coach category, which I just have to tell you, this year was really fun because last year, the career coach category had like half of the nominees in it, to the point that we actually had 10 career coach finalists last year instead of just the 5. And it was really fun to see the nominations distribute across the different categories this year. And our top 5 finalists in the career coaching category are Shelly Maley, Erin Reed, Josh Banwart, Kristen Whitman, and Michael Greco. Congratulations to all 5 of you for not only your We're back. I forgot to warn you all at the beginning of this thing that we've been having issues with the new internet that we got to replace the internet that we were having issues on. And everybody behind the scenes right now is laughing. All of your winners are laughing because they've all been in sessions with me with the old internet when this happened. So I meant to preempt it all with saying I may go dark for a little bit, but at least it happened before I told you who our 2 winners in the top career coach finalist category are. So without further ado, I saw Josh Banwart giving us a drum roll, please. First, our runner-up in the career coach category with the silver award is none other than Michael Greco. Yay! And we even got your camera to work in time for it. Congratulations to you, friend.
Thank you so much. So honored for this, for all of this. Thank you so much.
So I have to give all of you a quick little tidbit that last year we recognized Michael as a rising star, which was an award that, because these are my awards and I get to decide things like this, we decided to pull out at the end because there were just a couple people that fell like, not within the scoring, but just below it, but felt like they deserved recognition. And so Michael, that rising star award was basically a preview of things to come. So congratulations and thank you for everything that you are doing to support project managers and professionals out there as a top career coach.
Thanks so much, and thanks to everybody else.
Woo-hoo. All right, we're gonna be techie here and remove Michael. And even bigger drum roll, please, for your top career coach in the 2026 Momentum Awards. Congratulations to Erin Reed. Yay! And I have to tell all of you that, Erin won in selection because of the submissions and, what she had to say, but she also was one of only 2 people who got over 200 votes in the voting category. And so well-deserved on several fronts. Erin, congratulations. And Erin, if you'd like to say a little bit of anything, you are more than welcome to. Do not feel like you have to. I wasn't sure if I was frozen again or if we're just, on live TV here. So, Erin, congratulations on being top career coach. Yay! All right. And quick side note for any of you in the green room, as your awards are, oh no, stay here because we might do something fun at the end. So never mind, disregard what I'm about to say. All right. Now we are going to get into top interview and communication coach. And our finalists for this category were Bill Ostrom, Kathleen Dehoney, Karen Jackson, Kathy Sparrow, and Delina Bradley. And this is a great collection of people who help on communications and interview in different capacities. So Kathy was our runner-up last year in the specialty category alongside Lily. She's our author coach who literally helps people communicate stories. Kathleen, I just got to see at the Career Thought Leaders Conference last week, which was super fun. And so she really helps people with their job search interview processes. And Bill is actually a recruiter turned career coach, and so has a really interesting aspect of how he supports people. And then our runner-up in the interview and communications category is none other than Karen Jackson, who I have to tell you a little bit about how she both interview and communication coaches, because she specializes in working with the deaf and hard of hearing community. And I think that it is amazing to help them communicate their stories to the hearing world while on the job market. So congratulations and thank you, Karen.
Thank you so much. This is an honor. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, and we love you. We love your energy. We love what you do for your clients. So this is well deserved.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
So much fun. If you don't ever award people anything, I'm just going to tell you should start, because it's just really fun to celebrate people who are doing amazing things, which brings us to our winner in the interview and communications category, Miss Delina Bradley, who I just made bend down really far and give me a hug in person last week when we got to meet face to face for the first time. Delina, congrats.
Thank you. I've always been intrinsically motivated by my clients who come in and they're feeling unsure and then they leave ready to own the room. And this award to me is that external motivation, the booster pack, to keep doing this great work. So thank you.
Love it. And Delina, I think you make a really good point of why most of us do this work and why why I wanted to create a way to recognize it, because a lot of times we aren't, right? We don't always get the recognition that maybe we deserve or would want, especially when we're helping people through job searches where we kind of have to play a backseat because people may or may not want to know their coaching. And so we are oftentimes rewarded by the outcomes that our clients see. And so it's a great way to put it. Congrats. So excited to recognize you today.
Thank you.
All right. And now we are going to executive and leadership coaching, where our finalists were Heather Yared, Mark Misiano, Sarah Shondrick, Bonnie Morlock, who was last year's runner-up, and then Darlene Thompson. And again, a really great collection of people working in a mix of their own practices, mixing in a work of executive career coaching versus leadership, team coaching versus even working within an institution. And so I am very excited to introduce you to our runner-up, Sarah Shondrick. Congratulations. Wait, where are you on my screen? There you are. Yay. Congrats to you.
Thank you. Such an honor.
This is so much fun. And Sarah's a great example of somebody working in a larger organization, but having this kind of impact. And that's pretty incredible. So Sarah, thank you again and congrats. And now our top winner for executive and leadership coaching, none other than the one and only Mark Misiano, who I may not make talk a lot because he is here, even though, can I tell everyone that you're feeling like crap? And repping No More Mondays. Thank you for that. We need to get you a boardroom hat. But yeah, I'm not going to make you talk. I can hear you. I can bear. Yeah. So
I have a hardcore case of strep throat, but thank you, Angie. This is incredibly exciting, and I am so grateful. Thank you.
And the people that you work with are grateful for you. And that's the thing that I think all of us need to remember is we change lives. And I talk about that a lot in the coaching space, but I think that none of us really want to admit it or accept the fact that we do change lives. And so we're all grateful for you. Personally, I'm grateful for you. And Mark is one of the reasons I upfront told all of you I didn't know anybody who won only by letter, because my coaching business in my life is better because of you. So I'm proud to recognize you for this. And thanks for wearing a No More Mondays hat.
Anytime.
All right. And then not necessarily saving the best for last, but maybe saving the broad scope impact level for last. And that is our top industry thought leader. And we had some real movers and shakers in this category. Franklin Buchanan, if you do not follow him here on LinkedIn, you totally should. His Careers and Beers will not only teach you something about careers, but you'll have a little fun in the meantime. Denise Bittler, who has always got some kind of fun content coming out. Veronica Scarpolino. I am Italian, and I want to say Scarpinello instead of Scarpolino, which I'm guessing everybody does. I'm so glad the Momentum Awards brought you into my world. Lori Seymour, who is doing amazing things when it comes to knowing yourself. She recorded a No More Mondays episode with me about a month or two ago. And if you want some inspiration to know that you are creatively intelligent and doesn't matter what AI does, listen in because it's amazing. And then Stephanie Rank, who is the third leg of the Mark Angie Stephanie triangle, who was also nominated and was our runner-up last year. So we've got a great cast of characters here. And I'm going to start with the number one character in thought leadership, specifically in the career coaching space. And that is my friend Denise Bittler. Congratulations on your second place finish in industry thought leader, because you are definitely one of these in the career space.
Thank you so much. It's I had a lot of people supporting me and helping me grow when I started, and look at it as a way to continue to grow our industry and really get everybody on the level that we need to be at.
Well, and I want to take a minute, and there's extra congratulations that needs to happen here, because Denise has had one hell of a roller coaster happening in life over the last year. So to maintain the visibility and maintain the significance as an industry thought leader, no matter and regardless of what was happening on the life end, is even an even bigger testament to the importance you place on the information that you put out there and the significance and the impact that it has. So it's a double thanks for you.
Thank you so much.
And congrats. I was very excited for this recognition to come.
Thank you.
And all of your hard work and all of that content you put out there is recognized and needed. So,
Thank you.
and finally, our second to the last award of the day, I'm leaving you a little teaser if you're doing the math, is our industry thought leader winner is Miss Veronica Scarpolino. I did it right.
Yes, you
Veronica,
did. Yes, you did.
congratulations and welcome to this world of amazing, impactful, modern coaches. Congrats.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Go ahead. I would love to hear just a little bit about you and your coaching philosophy and what it means to be an industry thought leader.
Yeah, this is quite an honor to be in, especially among the esteemed people who have been nominated across categories, and in this industry thought leader category in particular. I've been working for years trying to promote human creativity, and in coaching, that means not just the way that you have output, but also the way that you think, the way that you feel, and the way that you behave. And as you alluded to with the dumpster fire of the world that we're in, we could say that things are complex right now. They're not getting any simpler, and not just for our clients, but also for us as coaches. And so how do we maintain our ability to show up for our clients in a way that helps them in this complex world that we're in? And so marrying these pieces together into creative intelligence, or CQ as I call it, has been a way to help not only advance our industry, but help our clients through this ripple effect. And it's just really exciting to be able to introduce that to a wider audience.
I love it. And I love that you were thinking and even talking about these things before AI came on the scene and kind of exacerbated the situation and the need for us. I talk a lot about humans still matter, and I think that there's a similar platform there. And I started talking about it even before we started feeling like we didn't matter as much because of technology. And so I think it's such an important message, and I'm so glad that you're putting it out there and that it got you this recognition so that it gets even more visibility.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yay, what a fun morning of celebrating. Oops, I gave a preview. of just celebrating everybody here. This is live television again, so you never know what I'm going to do. Which brings me to this one last little teaser, and I want to recognize Shelly Maley, because next to, and Shelly, you can say something if you want, but the reason I am recognizing you is because you and Aaron were the only two coaches who received over 200 votes, and actually it was over 235.
Wow.
Both of you. And so it felt like we needed to recognize that, even though that is not the entire way anybody wins. Clearly, people love what you were doing, and I wanted you to know it.
Thank you. I appreciate the recognition.
So thank you for all the good things you do. And thank you to everybody who we awarded. And this was the slide I thought I had. Your 2026 Momentum Award winners, everybody. Congratulations to Veronica, Mark, Aaron, and Delina, our gold winners, and Denise, Sarah, Michael, Karen, and Shelly, the fan favorite, for all of the work that you are doing. But we're not done yet, because y'all get some stuff. So there are prizes here, people. You think I'm just going to be like, yay, you got to be on LinkedIn Live. So if you are a gold winner, you receive a completely complimentary seat in our Master Job Search Coach program. The next cohort will kick off in June. And if you're curious, I've got a way for everybody out there to find out. The QR code on the left will take you there. And if you are one of the runners up, you get kind of a deep discount on a seat in that program to just help you take your coaching to the next level, whether you're a career coach or adjacent to it, because really it is a program about how to coach humans. The other thing we're adding this year is thanks to our friend Theo at, I always forget the name of his company, Multipass. Theo at Multipass is working with a few of the other coaches who were nominated and has done astounding things to help them grow their digital footprint and their YouTube presence specifically. And so he has gifted 1 month of free YouTube growth support to all of the winners. Do not squander that, because he helped somebody go from like 500 followers to 191,000 followers in a year. And if you don't think that means something, then you need to call him. And if you are the runners up, you also get a deep discount to that. And there is a deal for the entire Modern Coach community right now. So if you click the QR code on the right, you can find out more about those growth marketing services. And we're super grateful for what he wants to do to support all of you in taking your thought leadership and your coaching to the next level. And if you do want to find out more about Master Job Search Coaching, whether you are backstage here or out there, click that QR code. We have an info session coming up in about a month on June 2nd, where I'll tell you more and you can ask all of the questions. But to take it back to the heart of today, congratulations to all of our winners, and save the date, because we're going to keep doing this. And the 3rd annual Momentum Award nominations will open on January 8th, 2027. I had to make sure I got that date right, which is also National Career Coach Day. It's a big day for many of us, and why I announced these awards on that day. So save the date for that. And in the meantime, spend the next year celebrating these amazing innovators and influential coaches who are helping everybody out there remain human on purpose. Congratulations, everybody. Woohoo! So that's it. And so if we want, I think we're going to have a little fun. So let me get my technology set up here, and I'm bringing everybody up, because why not? And we're going to have just a little, impromptu. Mark, you will actually not talk for once. It's amazing. Here's what I think could be fun. If anybody out there has a question for these clearly influential, successful coaches and business people, most of them, queue it up in comments. I will monitor and see what we can learn. But in the meantime, I'm just going to randomly think of some questions, and you guys can kind of shout it out. And here I'm sitting here going, okay, what do I want to ask? Hang on, I have notifications I still need to. Aaron still can't hear, and I don't know, Aaron, what's going on with, you have no audio attached, Aaron. You may need to leave and come back. Oh, she can't hear. Can somebody do me a favor and put into the private chat to Erin that she probably needs to leave and come back and make sure her mic's enabled, because I think that's the problem.
I got it.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Karen. And I'm going to popcorn this out, and whoever wants to answer first, which might be hilarious with this group, in front of me. What do you all feel it took from a coaching perspective to get on this screen? What's the one thing you feel has made such a difference in your business to get to this level of coaching and or business? Shelly.
I have to say that 38% of my coaching inquiries come directly from my networking. So I network extensively in my local area, and that has been huge. I know that when people think about someone that needs a resume or they're in a career transition or interview coaching, they think of me. So that has been monumental in my recognition.
I don't know that any of you want to follow that because it is, how is that for practice what you preach, people? You know, half of the people that you see on this screen, if not more, are helping in a career capacity. And I'll recall something that happened earlier this month. Mark and Karen and I did a little workshop on the Grapevine, which is what Karen likes to call her network. And Mark said something that I have just straight up stolen, by the way. He says, networking is job searching. Oh, there I go again.
Karen, explain the Grapevine, since I don't have a voice and Angie is frozen.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we had this conversation about our network is our grapevine, in which we can harness the people that we already know to cultivate an even bigger grapevine, and how that will help kind of be a catalyst in your job seeking or in your professional development. It creates that feedback loop that we already have to be able to kind of keep that momentum going forward in our profession. So again, whether you're job searching or you're just looking to leverage the people that you already have, that grapevine is such a huge asset.
Thanks, Karen, for picking that up while I just exited stage left. Because the thing that Mark said, and I don't know if you guys remembered it, he said networking is job searching, and there is no truer fact in 2026. And so, and also from a business perspective, and just in general, to go back to something Veronica said, and that is like, you know, we individually and as like creatively intelligent people still have some special sauce. And I think what we're seeing is a return to organic, genuine, good old school human connection, which is why, in a way, you know, networking is working kind of even better. You know, side note, it's interesting. Somebody said to me yesterday that they're starting to get better traction in LinkedIn cold networking again. And here's what I think is happening. Oh, I saw shaking heads. Everybody realizes they need to do it. And at some point they're going to need to do it. So they can't just ghost everybody that messages them anymore. They need to play the karma game. Right. And so maybe that's come full circle. It is working out. Erin, do you have sound? Erin has
yes,
sound.
I have sound now.
Yay!
And I can hear. Can y'all hear me? I apologize. I'm at the orthodontist with my son too, so I'm trying to multitask.
That's the commitment.
He got
to
his
what we
braces
do,
off
people.
today.
She didn't get to hear any of the mostly nice words I said about her, but she knows she won a gold award and she knows she got the most votes out of everybody, and that Shelly was second. So there you go. That's what you need to know, Erin.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I want to know if
Thank
any of you have something on your mind you want to, throw out to the group while we just spend a few minutes giving our collective wisdom to everybody out there.
Can I throw a little,
one thing I
thought jogger out there?
Veronica, talk first. This is what you get when you put a bunch of like mostly type A people on a room and say, "Hey, talk."
All right, here's a little thought jogger for you. What if the way that you've been thinking about yourself as being creative might be wrong? What if you're way more creative than you give yourself credit for? And what if knowing exactly how creative you are lets you do it on purpose?
Yeah. I'm gonna just follow that up with something that is, I feel like, very validating for what you just said. Years and years, for those of you that don't know out there watching, I'm a former engineer, but I love people, which is why the word former is in front of the word engineer. And I remember going to a conference for creatives, which is a whole other random story on how I ended up as a former engineer in a conference for creatives. And there was somebody on the stage, I even still remember who he was, and he said the following. He said, "You have to be creative to be an artist, but you don't have to be an artist to be creative. And 13, 14 years ago, I still remember that. And it was as if somebody kind of gave me a permission to be the like strategic ideator creator that I am. And so I had that moment of what you just said, Veronica.
Exactly. And some of the most creative people I know are engineers, scientists, healthcare workers. They're in fields that are not artistic, but that's not what I talk about.
Yeah, there's ingenuity there, which is just a different type of creativity.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm having a giant No More Mondays podcast right now, and it's really, really, really fun. I think, Denise, you had something that you were going to chime in right as Veronica came to mic. So you're next.
So one of the things that I think, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the big things I think that's coming out is quality over quantity. You know, it used to be try and get as many people on LinkedIn and you got to have so many, and people are realizing that, and LinkedIn is purposely rewarding people for effective networks, not the size of your network. So making sure that you are being very intentional about who you accept connection requests from, who you send connection requests to, who you interact with, because again, LinkedIn has totally changed its whole algorithm, and it's quality over quantity.
And I think that's a good message to go back to what we were talking about with networking and even in a job search in general is what did I say to somebody, right? To some, you have to throw a little bit of stuff at the wall to see what sticks, but if all you throw at the wall is shit, you're going to have a wall full of shit. And the same thing goes for networking and a job search. And there's a level of kind of focus that you really have to bring to all of it. But I don't think, like you said, Denise, I think that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Yeah. So, okay. I want to go around the room and we're going to give everybody your best professional development / coachy tip as we wind down the Momentum Award celebration and give you all one last little 20, 30-second sound bite and spotlight to just once again congratulate you all for what you've done to get this recognition today. So I'm just going to go with order on the screen. Karen, you're up, then Delina.
All right. Yeah. So I think I'm going to mention something that I've been talking to a lot of my clients about, and that's creating that feedback loop in this thing that we're doing and creating that momentum in our professions, right? And so if that means dusting off your old resume and cleaning it up and getting it revised or connecting with a coach, highly recommended. Talk to your peers, talk to your professionals, talk to family, talk to friends, and get that feedback loop on what it is you're trying to do to help you create clarity, right? Like create that conversation and get that feedback loop going.
Don't do it alone. Delina, then Mark.
Yes, a lot of people wait to practice telling their stories and their interview, elevating their interview skills later in the process once they have a job interview scheduled. That's too late. When you're job hunting, when you're actively job hunting, get comfy. First of all, identify your best of, your highlights reel, your best accomplishments, and create structured stories and tell them in a natural way through repetition. But get comfy with that, because you never know, especially if you're actively networking, when a conversation can unexpectedly turn into an interview, right? Which is everybody's goal. But then, but just don't put it off. Don't put off the articulation, the personal presentation of yourself, and don't put it on the back burner. Put it right there on the front burner next to everything else you're doing.
Don't wait to prepare. You're going to get the one-liner from me after every single one. Don't wait to prepare. Mark, then Veronica.
Let's pretend that I slept last night and that I'm not exhausted. A thing that I'm seeing really consistently is that people are letting their careers happen to them. And I want you to take ownership of your career. And so just because there might be a path laid before you doesn't mean you have to walk down that path if it doesn't feel fulfilling. And so take the time to get clarity on what you want the rest of your career to look like, what impact you want to have, not just what job title you want to have. Because if you don't have that clarity early, you're going to end up in your 40s, 50s, 60s looking back going, wait, I didn't want any of this. Isn't making me happy. Why am I doing this? And I would rather save you the heartache now and tell you to chart that course now, rather than just waiting for life to happen to you.
Design over default may or may not be a core message in Scary Good, Discovering Life Beyond the Sunday Scaries, my book, available now wherever books are sold. Veronica, and then Denise.
Love how you got that plug in.
That was not planned, but Mark just queued it up.
So
I also
I'm
have,
loving the
like,
advice.
18 copies of your book in my house, by the way, Angie.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. Veronica, you're up.
I endorse the advice being given out by my peers here, and if I could add to it, because we have such complexity going on, regardless of whether it's you yourself are feeling the complexity and the impact, or you're leading people who are feeling the complexity and impact, or you're guiding people who are feeling that complexity and impact, I would say don't be afraid of the feelings. As they say there, or as I've really been leaning into, our emotions are data. And if you can figure out what that emotion means, you can get curious about it, then you can make a choice to think differently. And then if you're able to figure out how you uniquely think and how to leverage that, where your gaps are, then you'll be much more able to not only navigate the complexity, but to experience the creative power of an obstacle becoming your opportunity. I know that sounds cliche, but it is a reality. To be able to take that and to move forward, as Mark is saying, by being your own ship steerer instead of just being somebody who's drifting along on the river, is really empowering. But mostly throughout that whole process, your emotions continue to give you signals about what is important, where the real danger is, and where opportunity is hiding in plain sight.
Let your emotions be the data. I may or may not be taking notes here, you guys. You may or may not be an edition of the Sunday Scaries this week. Let your emotions be the data. Denise, did I say you were next? Anyway, you're next.
Yes.
Okay. We'll do Denise then
so
Sarah.
For those of you who know
Moving
me,
around on my
am
screen. Every
AI
time Aaron comes and goes, I lose the order. So we're going to do Denise then Sarah.
Okay. So everybody who knows me knows I am passionate about the ethical and effective use of AI in career services for us as career service providers, as well as for our clients. And one of the things that I think people are not taking enough advantage of is deep research. So my recommendation is check out deep research, whether it's on Chat or Gemini or Perplexity. If you're preparing for an interview, if you are looking, don't just throw in a couple things. Don't just go do the search on your own. Try deep research. I've had clients where we've put together, they've had 20, 25 page documents that they've created leave behinds for with their interviews. And they have been told that they are the most prepared person that they have interviewed to that point. So take advantage of what AI can do to help you really make sure with the deep research that you are positioning yourself as a standout from other candidates. So,
leverage the tools at your disposal. Absolutely. We got Sarah, then Michael.
Yeah, so regardless of whether you're searching for a job or trying to get better at what you're currently doing, one of the things I oftentimes am talking to my clients about is finding space to take care of yourself. It's not only going to be helpful for your physical well-being, your psychological well-being, but also it'll make you more creative when you're able to access more positive emotional states of mind. And it's going to help you from a stress management perspective, which will help you make better decisions, see the more holistic picture, and ultimately have more success in what you're doing. So have fun, take care of yourself, find space for the things you enjoy, allow yourself to rest and recover.
Yes. Rest is not a reward, it's a requirement, and it is extremely important as you grow in your career into higher levels of responsibility. It's important all the time, but as you get into executive and leadership, you have to focus on yourself. You can't fill from an empty cup. We got Michael, and then Shelly gets to round us out because I think we lost Aaron.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of really great feedback here today. And I think the one word I keep coming back to is impact. And so my piece of advice would be that your career doesn't advance on being good at your job. It really advances by being known for the impact of your work. So when you're thinking about that, you want to think about 3 sections of intersectionality that I always talk about with my clients. That's results, visibility, and trust. So think of the ways that you can drive strong outcomes and making sure that you're bringing business value and making that visible in what you do. Because at the end of the day, that human touch and that understanding of impact is what's going to help with your direction, wherever you're going, right? That's important for you to keep in mind. And proactively shape how leaders talk about your work when you're not in the room. If you can do that within your strategy, that is a positive sign and direction for what you're doing. And it all comes back to, if you're needing help, don't be afraid to ask for help with that. However you activate that, whether it's through a career coach, whether it's through deep research, as Denise mentioned, which I think is a fantastic tip to keep in mind. There's many ways to do that, but always come back to the impact of what you do.
Yeah. This is a great roundtable. All right, Shelly, you get to finish us off with a giant pearl.
Okay. I am a big believer in having a career insurance plan. So that means your resume needs to be updated at all times. Your LinkedIn needs to be current and focused on what you're pursuing next. You need to be keeping track of your accomplishments and your impact that you've had in past positions. And your network is really your net worth, and you have to have you can't, too many people wait until they're desperately searching for their next opportunity to worry about, I need to reach out to people, and that just is not effective. So my post today on LinkedIn is actually about your career insurance plan.
Love it. Do I get to do one since it's my show?
Sure.
Yeah.
You have more control than you think. And every single tip you heard from every single one of these winners today proves it and gives you a way to take that control and take that agency. Because this falls into the why I believe that we're way too accepting of mediocrity in this country, is because we just take the career or the life that's handed to us or that's expected of us, instead of stopping and looking at it from a level of intentionality and desire and designing what you want, and then creating or finding the career that supports that. And you have that control, even though things are so complex, as Veronica so tactfully says, versus my calling it a dumpster fire, right? Even though things are so complex, you do have more control that you think, and you owe it to yourself to take it. And these are some great ways to do just that. So thank you all for giving everybody out there some advice on the heels of your wins. And more importantly, congratulations to every single one of you for a very deserving recognition today. And thank you for everything that you do for everyone out there and this person right here. Your 2026 Momentum Award winners, everybody. Yay. All right. So quick little housekeeping. I'm going to move all of you to the backstage. And we're going to keep this up for a second, and then I'm going to end the feed, but I'm going to come tell you a couple things offline. So thank you all out there for joining us. Go follow every single one of these, thought leaders and impactful coaches, because they will help change your life. I don't doubt it. And thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting, nominating, voting, and for being the amazing humans that you are, both on screen and off.